Quickly today, we're going to go over some shortcuts that I personally use a lot in Excel 2016. And then at the end, we're going to go over how to make or how to figure out the shortcut for whatever it is that you use. So if you're a person that makes a lot of graphs, does a lot of formatting, you're going to want to learn those Excel shortcuts to really boost your productivity and at the very least impress your coworkers or friends who are watching you work. So here we'll have just a very, very small set of data. We have names, you can say student names and test scores, or just names and random set of numbers. One thing often that you want to do is sort these numbers in various ways. So if you select the columns that you want to apply a filter to, and you do Control-Shift-L, you can remember it as Control-Shift-List. So Control-Shift and L at the same time adds the filter to the column. And then from here, you can say, well, I don't want to look at any numbers under a 60. There you go. Very easy to do. So Control-Shift-List, again, that saves you from having to go into the data and filter. Easier to remember, the shortcut. So the next thing you want to do is one of the most common ways to sort the data is by highest to lowest or lowest to highest. And an easy way to remember that shortcut, if you look on the keyboard, you have the A, the S, and the D key all in a row next to each other. So if you do Alt, A, S, D, not at the same time, you could do them, 4 keystrokes in a row. And there you go. By doing Alt, A, S, D, we now have all the scores from highest to lowest. If you wanted to go the opposite direction, you're going to do Alt, A, S, A. So again, it's just using those same exact keys basically. And I use that a lot. If you're looking at like a big row of sales data and you want to see, okay, what item in this column is I want to see the items by the highest number of sales to the lowest. Alt ASD is a very easy way to quickly look at that. Now, what if you wanted to, let's say we have a column here. We'll divide by 100. Okay. So actually, we'll turn this into a percent first. So what you want to do is you could have 0.95, but if you do Alt HP, you're gonna get 95%. Okay, and this makes sometimes easy to read if you have a long list of decimal points and you want to convert it. Likewise, Alt HK, K for comma, although comma is a C, they use K here. This will set the numbers in the cell to 2 decimal places. So that's a way to change the number. And a lot of times I find myself changing numbers to percents and changing them back to regular numbers. So that's a helpful shortcut to know, Alt HP. So now the thing is we have this cell, we have a percent formula, and we want to drag it. Now a lot of people, you could go in here again and drag this down. And there you go. That would be one way to kind of drag the formula over many cells. You'll see other people will copy and paste. You'll see some people do, Alt ES F to paste the formula. But really the easiest way to do it is just to hover over the cell, shift down, and then Control D. So Control D for down. And that is the shortcut for clicking and dragging. Right? Control D is the shortcut. So a lot of times, again, you figured like, oh, I want to see this in percent. So you do this. It's what we've already done. All right, well, it's already in here. Let's try it again. So you go, okay, divide by 100. Oh, I want it in percent, and then I want to drag it. It's much quicker to just type and do these things than using the mouse. Now, another thing is when you're using a lot of data, you want to visualize it. That makes it very easy to see. So here we have, student, multiple tests, and their test scores. So we say, okay, well, it looks like, over time, it looks like it's improving, but this might be something that's easy to visualize. So if we Alt-NN, again, a pretty easy one to remember, Alt-NN, enter, makes us a line graph. And that's when you open up a data set and you just want to graph the line, Alt-NN really quick. It's a very common one to use. So that was here. Now, the thing is, you can say, well, how am I going to memorize these? And then there's hundreds of shortcuts. So The easiest way, so let's delete this, to learn. So let's say you make a lot of, bar graphs, okay, or column graphs. So you're going to do Alt, and you see when you hit the Alt key, you get the shortcut buttons up at the top. Right, so we're going to insert, because we're going to insert a graph. The graphs are in insert, so Alt-N will always bring us into the insert dropdown. And then the columns are C. So you can see N here is the line graph. So when we did Alt and N, we did Alt, then we went into the insert key, then we went into made a graph. So now we're going to do Alt and C, opens up there, and you have your chart. So if you say, well, I make a lot of border lines, right? Well, you just know, well, Alt H B P, that is a top border, right? So what do we do? B, and then here P, which is underlined, is the shortcut. And what you'll see in certain menus, so if you go to copy, so again, let's go to the special copy menu. So Alt ES. Now here, F is underlined, V is underlined, M is, if you hit M, it selects that. If you hit V, it selects that. Right? So you can see this is how you have to eventually learn what shortcuts you use. And you'll be able to very quickly basically just type and have things happen in Excel.